This is SJ Talks and Life coming back at you with another video. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip of Sade Robinson, young lady by the name of Sade Robinson, and I will be back with my commentary.
Milwaukee County investigators found more remains believed to belong to Sade Robinson.
She, of course, is the 19-year-old woman police say was killed and dismembered after a first date. Christina Benzel says live in South Milwaukee. That's where those body parts were found. Christina, what do we know?
Ted, when it comes to this area, it's technically closed off, but people who live around here say many still walk along the shoreline and the beach. Investigators tell us that they already had scheduled a sonar boat detection to go out and search Lake Michigan tomorrow before this discovery. But today, Sade Robinson's loved ones were out here searching for any additional clues they could find. Just the brutality of everything. It's an investigation leaving people in Milwaukee County speechless. Cutting up someone's body is just, it's hard to even say the words. Investigators say a person walking the beach spotted human remains around 7:30 Thursday morning. The sheriff's office says a torso and arm were found, believed to belong to Sade Robinson. She is the 19-year-old authorities say was killed and dismembered on April 1st. And I think I'm grateful that they're finding more of her remains. Hopefully that'll bring closure to the family, but it doesn't make it any easier. 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson is the man charged. Investigators say the two were on a first date. It comes after weeks of searches for the rest of her remains. Robinson's leg was found in Warnemont Park in Cudahy, and then additional remains were found in 3 locations in Milwaukee County.
So beautiful.
It's scary nowadays that you have to worry about stuff like that. Thursday, the Anderson family issued a statement before the additional remains were found. It reads in part, "I would like to express our deepest sympathy and heartfelt condolences to the family and loved ones of Sade Robinson. We are shocked and devastated by her senseless death, and we join the entire community in celebrating Sade's life." Robinson's loved ones search the area and say they won't find closure until all of the remains are found. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office is asking anyone, if you have something that can help their investigation, give them a call. You can even...
Yeah, this young lady went out on a date. The first, what my understanding is that this young lady, Sade Robinson, went out on a date with that trash, with that man, and he unalived her and dismembered her and scattered her body parts all over the place. And she was only 19 years old, and I think he was 30 something. This is sad. I had to talk about this. I had to talk about this because this is really a cautionary tale for Black women. I think it's either 3 or 4 other Black women. If I find their stories, I might come on here and talk about them too. I think there's 3 or 4 other Black women that was unalived on a first date as well. But this one has made nationwide news. This one is really widely being talked about. He dismembered her body and scattered her body parts. As you can see on this news clip, they were looking for her body parts. And this is sad. This is really sad. This is really a cautionary tale for Black women. What I want to talk about is, I know that Black women want to expand their options. I get it that Black women want to expand their options, and that's been pretty much on social media, YouTube, TikTok, and a lot has been over the past few years. A lot of propaganda has been promoting Black women expanding their options, Black women divesting and starting to open up to dating other races of men. It's really, really more and more Black women are starting to date outside of the race. I'm not going to really go into the reasons, but for lots of different reasons. I've talked about that on here before. But what I'm saying is, and I've said this in other videos, I've said it in other videos, I made this point in other videos, that Black women need to be careful. It doesn't matter what race of man it is. It doesn't matter what the race of the man is, because there are some white men out there, and I'm not saying that there's some nice ones, but there is some white men out there that know that a lot of black women are starting to expand their options. And he prayed on this was a young lady. She was only 19 years old, and he prayed on this young lady. He prayed on her. He was in his 30s, and he prayed on her, and she was only 19 years old. And so there are some white men out here that will seek out black women because they know that more black women are starting to open up and to date white guys. And the ones that's not for the right things, and that are um, killers or whatever, predators, they are going to prey on black women. So this is definitely a PSA announcement for black women. Black women, it doesn't matter the race of the man, because the black femicide rate is on 10. There are other races of men that do hurt and unalive black women because of this, because they know black women are expanding their options more. A man, and I've said this many, many, many times in other videos, a man is not better because of his race. A man is not better because of his race. I'm going to repeat that 3 times. A man is not better because of his race. Okay? We need to, and I'm going to say I'm going to include me in that too. We need to be leery of all men. It doesn't matter what race. Do background checks. Pray. It's important to pray about it, because God will show you. He will show you. Pray about the man. Follow your instincts. Your instincts are never wrong. If you're with a guy and you pick up that vibes, don't ignore your instincts. Follow your instincts, ladies. If you're with a man and you don't pick up good vibes, follow your instincts. Your instincts are never wrong. That's actually God talking to you, and he's trying to warn you. Never, never ignore your instincts. Never. And that goes for all races of women across the board. Never ignore your instincts. But black women sometimes have a false sense of, now I'm not saying all black women, but because of the more black women are starting to date interracially, they might have a false perception of white men. Now, I'm not saying there's not some good ones out there. There are some good ones out there. But because of this situation, because I talked about another case on here, some other cases on here where white men have, it was another video I did of this white man that severely beat his black girlfriend, Chad Wheeler, I think that was his name. So it happens. It happens. Statistically, it is higher with black men, but it happens. But white men do it as well. They abuse black women. They're unaliving black women. And they may be using the interracial dating, black women opening up to interracial relationships. They use that. They will use that to prey on black women if they're not for the right things. Okay? So black women, I need you to be careful. We need to be careful. Do background checks. Pray. Follow your instincts. Mothers need to talk to their daughters. You are not to trust any man. You need to thoroughly check them all out. Trust is something that has to be earned. You need to thoroughly check them all out. I don't care what race they are. It doesn't matter what race they are. You need to check them out. This is literally a cautionary tale, because this beautiful young lady should not have had to lose her life. And more black women need to be on guard, because the black femicide rate is extremely high. And there are other races of men that abuse black women. that unalive black women. It happens. So black women need to be on guard for all races of men, not just black men, but all races of men. Black women need to be on guard because you don't you got to be leery. You got to be leery being a woman and being a woman out here. Being a woman out here of all races, being a woman out here is you got to be careful anyway. Being a woman out here of any race, you have to be careful. But I think black women are targeted by certain white men like this, that trash. That's up to no good and it's not for the right things. They may be targeting black women. So follow your instincts because there are more and more black women that's dating out. But black women need to realize that a man is not better because don't automatically assume that that man is better because he white. You know, don't automatically assume that he's better because he's white. He needs to prove himself. You need to still take precautions and you need to still follow your instincts, all that the same way you would do with a black man. Black women just need to be careful because I'm overhearing about all these cases of black women being unalived. And like I said, I think it was 3 other cases where black women were unalived on the first date. So if I find those, I'm going to talk about those. But black women need to be careful. It doesn't matter what race of the man is. It doesn't matter what race of man it is. Black women need to be careful. We need to be careful. It doesn't matter what his race is. We need to be careful. We are not to trust any man off the bat. We need to get to know. We need to pray, use discernment, because tragedies like this shouldn't happen. I mean, this is horrific. And now her family don't have a body to mourn. They don't have a body to bury because of this, because that's horrific. What he did to her was horrific. And they think that he might have had some other victims as well. So that's crazy. That's terrible. That's horrible. And my heart and prayers and condolences go out to her family. I know her mother is just heartbroken. 19 years old. 19 years old. Mothers, talk to your daughters. Talk to your daughters. This is sad. This is really sad. But black women, yes, we need to be careful. It doesn't matter what race of the man is. We need to be careful. We need to have the same standards that we would have for black men. We need to have the same standards or even higher standards for white men. Okay, we need to have even higher standards for white men. Okay, we need to have the same standards across the board. Don't lower your standards up for nobody. I don't care what race he is. Okay, so hit me up in that comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Let me know if you heard this story, because it made nationwide news. So let me know if you've heard this story, and let me know what your thoughts are on this story. This is really, really, really sad. Hit that like, subscribe, and share. Until the next video, be blessed.